I think we'll have a very big market impact, Bernie. You know, this is the IMF spring meeting this week. But what it really means is that central bankers and finance ministers, senior IMF officials are all in one place. Now, it's Washington this week. You know, it could be Davos in January or the IMF fall meeting and so forth. But there's a lot of, you know, there's an agenda. There's some public events and private events. But the real action takes place, you know, on the sidelines. You know, they'll have a BRICS meeting. They'll have a G20 meeting. But actually, even after hours, at private dinners, private meetings, that's where the real decisions take place. And the one thing that's going on is that the IMF is positioning to include the Chinese yuan in the SDR, the basket. The SDR is the special drawing right. That's this world money that the IMF can print. That's a very big deal because the U.S. has blocking power. China wants it. Says, hey, if you want us to put up all this money so the IMF can bail out Greece or Ukraine, then we want something in return. They want more votes and they want the yuan in the SDR. But the U.S. can block it. So the U.S. is sort of saying to China, hey, you guys need to be on your best behavior. Keep that peg. Keep that dollar yuan peg. So we see Chinese growth slowing down. That's obvious. Normally, China would weaken the yuan to promote exports, but they're not doing that now. And people who think you're going to see a weaker yuan might be disappointed because this is going to play out over the rest of the year. They'll probably take a formal vote in September, make it effective January 1st, 2016. But this is going to condition the yuan-dollar cross rate for the whole year.
You know, Jim, I'm starting to wonder. I mean, you know, if everything kind of falls into place now when you think about it. I mean, IMF, World Bank. I mean, Western dominated ever since inception. This is the whole reason that China went barging out onto the world with this whole concept of the AIIB, the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, and the shock and the horror of the United States when, you know, Britain, Australia, and then 57 other charter nations decided to jump on the wagon with China, leaving America looking completely naked around the waist in this case. I mean, this is politics when it comes to multilateral lending organizations. That's why China did the AIIB, because of American recalcitrance.
That's exactly right. This is hardball politics. It's a very deep game. Look, at the end of the day, China really does not want to go their own way. They want to be in the club, the big, you know, they are the second largest economy in the world, a large nation, obviously, but still technically an emerging market. They want to be in the big guys club with the rest of the G7, and actually that even more exclusive club of members of the special drawing right, the SDR. So that's where China wants to be. But the U.S. has been standing in their way. So China says, look, we're going to set up a parallel system. The AIIB, the BRICS Development Bank, we're going to do bilateral deals with Yuan and Brazil. You see them all over the world. We're going to make the Yuan more and more convertible. So China's saying, look, let us into your club. But if you don't, we'll start our own club. The U.S. is starting to get that message. It's coming in for a soft landing, but it's been hardball politics all the way. So I do look for the yuan to be included, as I say, effective January 1st. This is a way for China to be a reserve currency without opening their capital account, because they still like a closed capital account to some extent.
All right, Jim, before I let you go, I got to hit on your latest market musings and hypotheses here. You're most bullish right now on Germany and Russia. Jim, it's not the weekend yet. Have you been hitting the sauce a bit early? Russia? Really?
No, I'll wait for the weekend, Bernie. Look, I think Russia's on the bottom. Here's the thing. Sanctions on Russia expire in June. The entire EU has to agree on sanctions. Greece is a member of the EU. So Greece is playing its own game with the European Union and the ECB, obviously. The Greek Prime Minister has been meeting with Putin, so they may stand in the way of those sanctions. So they may relieve sanctions on Russia by June. The other set of sanctions coming off soon are Iran. Now, U.S. businessmen are chomping at the bit. They want to get over to Iran and do deals. But guess what? When they get there, the Germans are already there. So companies like Siemens, Volkswagen, Daimler-Benz, SAP, they're going to be the big winner when the Iranian sanctions come off. They're also going to be the big winners when the Russian sanctions come off, as well as Russia. So the whole Russian-German axis is getting stronger. I think the German large caps and Russian general, Russian ETFs and the ruble are all good plays right now.